Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Joseph C. Connor Field for tonight's varsity football matchup as the Loyola Blakefield Dons are taking on the Milford Mill Millers. I'm George Schaefer, joined in the box tonight by Reed O'Connor, and as Owen Shine gets ready to kick it away for the Dons, we will await the first offensive possession from the Millers. This one off the hands of the Milford Mill receiver and into the end zone. Should be a touchback.
Yeah, George, this is going to be one exciting matchup. I mean, last game of the season, the Dons are facing off against the #1 public school in the state. We'll see what the Blue and Gold can do tonight.
Yeah, so the Millers are led by quarterback Owen Newburns, who's had a really impressive season so far. 64 of 99, throwing for 1,300 receiving yards with 16 touchdowns. They'll go play action to start the game. Looking deep and broken up. Nice coverage there by the safety, Brady M, the junior.
A really clutch breakup there from Mern. Almost led up that deep touchdown on play number 1.
Yeah, he was looking for number 18 there, Romeo Eisen. And it was Mern, the junior, with the coverage. Newburns. Play action yet again. Pressure comes from Marsalek, trying to get away. Newburn scrambles to the left and hustles out of bounds for a pickup of a few.
Yeah, Newburns, he's got great speed. I mean, he really just circled around those Loyola D linemen and managed to pick up some yards on what looked like a dead play.
So it'll bring up third down. And about 7 or 6 yards. Newburns in the gun, steps back, launches deep for Eisen again, and this one gets over his head, and the Dons force a 3 and out on the first possession of the night.
Yeah, I mean, that was really just an overthrow there from the quarterback. He lofted it about 5 yards too far, so just a bit too much touch there, and the Dons avoid a dangerous couple plays early. And we'll see their offense next.
Yeah, and Milford Mill's offense has been really explosive so far. They've only punted about 7 times this entire season. Make that 8 after this 3 and out. Not really expected of them this time.
And George, didn't you say that they haven't kicked a field goal yet this season?
They may have kicked 1 field goal the entire season. They have an explosive offense, which is what the Dons will try and limit them in tonight. Punt is on the way. It'll fall at the feet of Corey Adams, and it'll be downed by the defensive back from Milford Mill, Kobe Sarkody.
Yeah, that one was only about a 35, 40-yard punt, so we got some good field position for the Dons, set up around that 40-yard line, so we'll see what they can do. Brad Cease, the senior at quarterback tonight. We just had senior night here at Blakefield. Great celebration here for the Dons.
Yeah, and Cease has put up some good numbers of his own, throwing for over 1,200 passing yards so far on the season. As he lines up in the gun, sends a man in motion. It's his twin brother, Derek. Looking for Derek Cease over the middle, and it's caught for a first down. Cease makes his way to inside the 45 of Milford Mill.
And the crowd below us is just going absolutely wild to that twin connection there. That's the Cease family down there. They've got cutout heads of the twins waving them around.
Yeah, this is the Twins' last game on this field. Last Loyola home game of their careers. As Cease steps back over the middle again. This time it's Braden Pross. And Pross gets inside the 25. Braden Pross has been the wide receiver 1 for the Dons.
And Cease delivered a strike there. Oh, my goodness. That ball had some power behind it.
Yeah, like we were saying, Pross is the #1 target so far for Cease, leading the team in receptions with about 33. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 34.
Yeah, Pross also leads the team in receiving yards. He had 570 coming into the night. Now he's got a couple more.
And this one has no target. As he throws it away, it lands in the end zone. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that time he was looking for Pross again, but Pross ran the little hitch route, and Cease thought he was running a streak. So we'll look to see that connection more tonight, as Pross is their #1 target, but they were just a little off there with the chemistry.
Not far behind is Corey Adams. He has 25 receptions on the season, 471 yards through the air for him. So Cease in the gun, Richie Hines, the RB1 to his right. Cease steps back, pressure comes over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Adams.
Not a great throw there from Cease. He would have had him on the inside leverage. That would have been a strike for a touchdown, but just underthrew him a tad.
So it'll bring up 3rd down for the Dons on the Milford Mill 25-yard line.
And this is a big conversion for the Dons. They got to jump out to an early lead, try to hold off this Milford Mill explosive offense.
So 10:22 left to go, and Loyola in a good offensive position, but they have to convert on this play. C steps back. Pressure comes, he just gets it off, he finds Hines. Richie Hines stays on his feet, and he's got a 1st down and more inside the 5. And Richie Hines did a great job of staying on his feet, and he's just gotten the Dons right on the goal line.
Well, George, I'm not going to lie. When that first attempt, when it looked like he went down, I actually looked over to the sticks to see if he got it. I was thinking no, but he stayed up, and their Dons are set up on the goal line.
So prior to this play, Hines just had 3 receiving yards on the entire season. This is his first big reception of the year for him. So it will be 1st and 10 from the 5.
And like I said before, the Dons really need to jump out to that early lead. We'll see if they can do it here.
It will be 1st and goal. 10-11 to go in the 1st quarter. And the Dons are looking to make a statement over the #1 public school team in the state. So Milford Mill, yeah, they are undefeated, 6-0 in the region, 8-0 overall. Their toughest opponent so far, I think, has probably been Perry Hall, also a really good public school, considered probably one of the best in the state as well. And they handled them, I think, just last week. Cease hands off to Hines. Hines gets to the goal line, and they'll call him short.
Just short there for Hines. And personally, I thought Cease had the ball on that one. A little bootleg sweep to the close side. I thought he was going to throw it in for an easy touchdown, but they handed it off to Hines there, and he got him super close.
So 2nd and goal from the 2, and this has been a 6-play drive so far. And this run is not going anywhere as Hines is hustled back for a loss. It'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Hines just absolutely corralled on that one. We'll see what the coaches for Loyola bring up on this play.
But it will be 3rd and goal from the 7. And through 7 plays, the Loyola Dons have gotten themselves from their own 43 all the way down to the Milford Mill 2 and then back to the 7. So Mason Russell checks in for his first snap of the night. He's considered the running back 1 for the Dons.
Now there's a flag on the field. And it looks like it's on the Dons, so they'll be backed up even further.
So I think it's false start on the Dons, and this one will go back.
Yeah, 5-yard penalty there.
So that'll go back to the 12. It'll be 3rd and goal. And they're going to have a long shot to get in the end zone here. And against a team like Milford Mill, I mean, the Dons haven't really played a team like this. They're undefeated, but they've had a fairly easy schedule compared to Loyola's, who have had to face the likes of top 10 team in the nation, Archbishop Spalding. And this flag, again, another false start. And this one should put them back to the 17.
We've seen this year with the Dons. They've had like 5 or 6 penalties in a row a couple of times, and it backs them all the way up to the 50, in which they'll have to punt. So let's hope that doesn't happen here. We want to stay in field goal range for Owen Shine.
Yeah, these offensive line penalties have been killing the Dons' drives lately.
And if not in field goal range, then scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, Dons stacked heavy left here. And they'll go opposite way with Mason Russell, and Russell gets nowhere. Not fooling the Milford Mill defense on that play, and they'll send out the kick team.
Yeah, personally, I would have gone with a pass there. When you have a goal situation from about the 20-yard line, you got to try to put that in the end zone with a pass. But they thought a run would work, and it just didn't.
So it'll be a 37-yard field goal attempt from Owen Shine, whose career long is 54, an all-school record. So Shine from 37. On the way. And good. Owen Shine, who's been the Dons' really, really good kicker for the Dons throughout his career. This is also his last game on Connor Field, and the Dons will take a 3-0 lead with his 37-yard field goal.
Yeah, Shine, he has been really good in the past and puts another one through for the Dons tonight.
So it'll be interesting now to see how Newburns and that defense can respond to that 3-and-out they had, which resulted in a Don score. And Milford Mill's trying to get their kickoff return team out there. A few stragglers left behind. So Sean to kick it away following that conversion. Kick is high and long, and it'll fall at the goal line. Fielded at the 0. Flag is down in the backfield, and it was the kickoff returner, number 0, Michael Smith Jr., the backup running back, who took that one out. Multiple flags on the play here in the background, in the backfield.
And the student section thinks it's on Milford Mill. As we know, Connor Field is an extremely hard atmosphere to play in, especially during night games. That student section will heckle you.
Absolutely, and this is the second drive in a row that Milford Mill have had to start inside the 20-yard line. They're going to be backed way up this time.
Half the distance to the goal.
So it's up to Newburns to get this offense going now. They'll start from their own 7.
So last time when they went 3-and-out, 2 of those plays that they went 3-and-out on were deep shots. 1 overthrown and 1 broken up by that Loyola defense. So we'll see if they continue with that theme here.
See if Newburns can add on it with 16 touchdowns on the season in this drive, and the flag is... Yeah, they watched that clock go all the way to 0, and it looked like there was no eagerness to snap that ball at all.
Yeah, just like we said, extremely tough atmosphere to play in. The cowbells were ringing.
So now it'll be first and about 15 from their own 2. Newburns. And the gun, he's standing inside the end zone.
The ball is on the 4-yard line. First and 13.
And they'll go up the middle for a run, really short gain. But yeah, Reed, Milford Mill is absolutely known for their run game. All 3 of their main running backs have over 150 rushing yards on the season.
Yeah, and when you spread the ball out that much and your backs can take that much of a load, that's when you know it's a recipe for a good team.
Absolutely. There's a lot of depth to this offense, which is what makes them a really complete team. But they're going up against a defense like they have not seen in any previous games. And so far, they're struggling tonight. Gain of 3 on that play. Going deep is Newburns, and he had a man who was pretty much almost wide open. It was Amari Patterson, the junior, who he overthrew. That's really his second or third time he's overthrown his receiver deep tonight.
And that's a matchup you want to watch. Two juniors, Corey Adams was guarding him on that side, and he had him burnt a little bit. So
Yeah.
keep your eye on that far side of the field.
Yeah, Patterson, who's the wide receiver 3 on this team, but he still put up some really decent numbers. 318 receiving yards over just 12 catches.
So really, he's the guy they go to when they're looking deep.
Absolutely. And Newbern's scramble's not going to do it, and this will be a second 3-and-out in a row.
Yeah, so far this Don's defense looking like too much to handle for Milford Mill.
It's 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down from the 8. That drive was 6 yards, and it's going to be their second 3-and-out of the night. Loyola defense making a big statement up against this offense for Milford Mill that's been scoring in like the 30s, 40s, 50s all game. And Derek Cease jumped on the punt return, so the Millers will have some extra room to work with here. It's going to be a neutral zone infraction on Cease, the tight end, tonight.
Remains 4th down.
Yeah, the Don's lucky that that penalty didn't turn the sticks over. You got to be careful in those 4th downs.
Jared Wilson on the kick. Jesse LeGree back to the stage.
Punt is short, and Legree's going to let it bounce. It goes inside the 40, rolling down to the 45, and it's picked up at the 43.
Yeah, huge Milford Mill bounce there. Legree should have fair caught that one, it looked like.
So this will actually be the second drive in a row where the Dons started on their own 43-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
But there is a flag on the play, so that'll probably change their field position. So 5:24 left to go, and it's the Dons who lead 3-0. I'm sure this would probably be the Millers' first game where they're shut out in the first quarter,
10-yard penalty.
or trailing by the end of the first quarter.
First down, Loyola.
Yeah, as we've been saying, Milford Mill's been pretty dominant.
Yeah, I think the reason this game was kind of scheduled, probably both teams wanted to give themselves something new. These teams don't really face each other or each other's opponents as well, as the Lions playing MIAA schools, Miller's playing Baltimore County schools.
Yeah, so the Don's moving back here
Which means they'll start the drive.
from their own 24.
Yeah, from their own 24-yard line. So that's a long penalty there. It'll be Cease in the gun. Handoff to Hines, fighting his way forward, and he gets to the 25,
Richie Hines, the ball carrier.
and it's a gain of 1.
And really, this is what we've seen all season from Hines. Not much yards per carry from him.
So it's going to be Cease in the gun, Hines to his left. They'll go play action. Cease gets up the middle, and he'll get across the 30-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, nice little keeper there from Cease. Makes it nice and manageable for the Dons. 3 yards.
It's 3rd down.
So it's 3rd and 3 from the 30. About 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Cease checks the play call, lines up with Hines to his left. And it's going to be a timeout called by Blake Henry to talk over this conversion. And with that, we will go to a quick break.
Their first of the half.
Back from that quick timeout break, the Dons will have to convert a 3rd and 3. And if you're just joining us, with 4:09 left to go in the first quarter, they lead 3-0 over the Millers. And it's kind of up for debate whether or not this result, if the Dons can pull away with a win, it's kind of up for debate whether or not it's a surprise. They go play action now. Cease, pressure comes, and he falls forward, and they will not convert, and it will be a punt.
Yeah, a big sack there coming from Milford Mill. Manages to keep the Dons off the board.
Loss of 2, 4th down.
So it'll be a loss of 2, 4th and 5 from the 28-yard line.
Owen Shine on the kick.
And the Dons will have a 3-and-out. And aside from that field goal, that's all there's been is 3-and-out drives. As Shine will have his first punt of the night.
Yeah, and when you see a field goal on the board for the Dons, you think, oh, maybe they just, their drive kind of stalled out. And really it didn't. They were down on the 2-yard line before getting backed up by a couple of penalties and eventually having to kick that field goal.
And this one will be downed at about the 25, down by Wyatt Wilkins. Sorry, that's actually Leo Gabriel who downed that punt.
Yeah, around the 40-yard line, so Milford Mill has a little bit of room to work with. We haven't seen this from them on any previous drives where they had some good field position like this, but
So Owen Newburn's gonna have to find a way to not get a 3-and-out this drive. And they'll have 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Newburn's snap, handoff, and it was fumbled. And they say the Dons have it.
the Dons are saying they have it. And we're up celebrating. The Dons have the ball with some great field position.
And it's recovered by Luka Marsalek, the defensive tackle. What a season he's had so far. And it's his first fumble recovery of the season.
So now the Dons have some great field position. They're set up to make this a 2-score game.
So the Dons will take over from the 27. That was a really quick drive, and Milford Mill has been absolutely stuck on offense. They can't even pick up a single 1st down. And it'll be Cease. Play action to Hines. Flag flies towards the sideline. Wide open man, and Braden Pross struts into the end zone for a Dons touchdown. But they're going to call this one back for false start. And again, it's these unforced errors by the Dons offensive line that have been killing themselves. So this will not count, and it was a really good play design that they probably won't get away with again.
Yeah, nice little wheel route from Pross, and just got open down the sideline. There wasn't a soul within reach of him, and Cease put it on the money. Pross basically waltzed into the end zone, but false start brings him back.
So rather than starting on the 27, they start on the 32, 1st and 15 with under 3 minutes to go. Cease with Hines to his left. See if they can replicate this. Cease over the middle and caught by Corey Adams. Pick up about 5 or 6, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Yeah, it's a... They'll call this a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up. And so Milford Mill will call a timeout. We'll be back after this break. So coming off of that timeout, both teams have already spent one here in the first quarter. As they both have just 2 timeouts. So 2:35 left to go in the first if you're just joining us. The Dons lead 3-0. 2nd and 6 situation from the Milford Mill 23. Dons trying to get in the red zone for the second time. Going deep and broken up the intended receiver there with Corey Adams. And it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 23.
Yeah, that was good defense there from Milford Mill. Kari went up, tried to snag that one over the shoulder, and it was batted away.
It's been an eventful drive so far for the Dons, though it's only taken over the course of 2 plays. With that touchdown there to Brady M, they got called back. And they need to convert this now, or it's going to be a pretty long field goal. 40-yard attempt, actually. They'll go to Richie Hines. Hines picks up the first down and more.
Great run there from Hines, ducking and dodging. Picks up the first down for the Dons. And now they've got some momentum.
Yeah, nice little toss off to the right side there. Not what the Millers were expecting. They were definitely expecting a pass. So now 1st and 10 from the 14 of the Millers. And they try the same thing. Hines breaks a few tackles, still on his feet, and he's brought down at around the 10.
Another great run there from Hines. He ducked under a tackle and managed to scoot forward for a nice gain.
So now we're under the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. And it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 8 after that 6-yard run from Richie Hines. Cease in the gun. Play action over the middle. And you'd expect to see a flag down for pass interference. There was a little tugging on the shoulder of Brady M. But the pass isn't complete. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, they might have thought that pass was just a little bit too far in front of Pross there.
So the Dons need this conversion. But if they can't get it, that would make a 23-yard attempt. Cease under pressure, hit as he throws, and it sails over the end zone, and it will bring up 4th down. So Owen Shine will come on for his 2nd field goal attempt.
Yeah, and that was a great football play there by Brad Cease, just throwing that one out the back of the end zone, trying to avoid the sack and keep it an easy field goal for the Dons.
So it'll be a 25-yard attempt for Owen Shine. Shine's kick is no good, and they may have gotten a hand on it, but that 23-yard field goal not converted.
Yeah, so you could call it disaster there for the Dons. The fumble recovery, they started to move the ball a little bit with Hines, some good runs there. They stalled out, and Shine can't hit that chip shot field goal.
So the bright side is the Milford Millers will not have good field position here as they start from their own 20. 1:07 to go in the quarter. Newburns, short pass here to Eisen. Eisen gets around, but he is brought down by Jesse Legree. That's going to be an interesting matchup we see tonight.
Great play there by Legree. Usually you see defensive backs trying to force the runner inside so he can be corralled by the linebackers, but Legree just decided to take him one-on-one and tackled him nicely.
Yeah, Legree's definitely the interception guy for this team, but he does have over 20 tackles, that one making it 22. 1 yard gain now, so 2nd and 9. Getting outside, and I think it's Corey Adams who makes the tackle here on Amari Patterson.
Yeah, and Kari would have had it a little bit sooner, but there was a missed holding call there by the refs. It was pretty blatant, if you ask me. He had Kari ripping him by the jersey, but no flag.
I think all three parties, both teams and the refs included, just trying to see this quarter out so that they can regroup. It's been a sloppy quarter for both teams, to say the least. 7-yard gain on that play, though, as New Bern's got it to Patterson, and I think they do convert this one.
Yeah, they do grab that first down, but just barely. He fell forward and got it. Still a nice defensive play there by the Dons, only letting up about 2 yards.
Yeah, that 2-yard pickup, though, it does make it 1st and 10 from the 30. And it's the Millers' first conversion of the night, and it's their first down of the night.
And they'll just roll this one into the second quarter. So we'll be back on the Loyola Sports Network.
Back from the first quarter break, New Bern's hands it off to Ferguson up the middle. I think it's his first carry of the night.
Yeah, that's the first time we've said Ferguson's name tonight, and he powers forward for a nice 5-yard gain.
And correction, this was James Joseph, I think.
Well, either way, it hasn't really been the pass game for Milford Mill so far. It's been that, it hasn't really been the rush game. It's been that pass game. And here we see it again as he grabs the first down.
Actually, I think that was Jamal Epps, the 4th-string running back, who gets that carry up the middle. But Milford Mill have a lot of depth in the running back position. Like we said, even their 3rd-string, James Joseph, with 154 rushing yards on the season.
Yeah, so here we see Milford Mill really just going deep in their play call bag, pulling out the 4th-string running back to take a couple carries.
And they do pick up this first down as they get to the 36. This one gets out to Patterson. Patterson escaping Legree, and a flag's down in the backfield. Might be a roughing the passer after that throw. And yeah, like we said, it's going to be Amari Patterson and Romero Eisen just dogging it out with Jesse Legree deep in the slot. And they haven't marked at the 43, but obviously subject to change here.
Roughing the passer. Loyola, 15-yard penalty.
So that penalty will move Milford Mill up a decent bit. And the ref was pretty aggressive when he was calling that penalty.
Yeah, that'll be put to the Dons' 37-yard line.
Sounded like it. His bones hit together when he was slapping his arms for the personal foul call.
So they get inside Don's territory, and it was another unforced error there as this handoff goes nowhere, and it's a play-action fake. New Bern's into the end zone for a touchdown. Even we thought that was a handoff up the middle. They fooled everyone on that play, pulling out all the stops, and New Bern's is into the end zone for his 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, great play by New Burns there. And like we said, they had everybody fooled on that play.
And I mean, just the dopamine changes in my brain when that just happened. I mean, I was excited for that Derek Cease TFL, and then seeing him sprint into the end zone just killed the vibes.
Yeah, we definitely thought that was a good defensive play there.
So Milford Mill gets on top in 59 seconds into this second quarter.
And it will be Muhammad Tiam, the place kicker for the Millers. 20 for 29 from the extra point. 0 for 0 on field goals. Like we said, they don't take field goals, but they might tonight. But yeah, Tiam, all he's had to do was kick extra points. Fairly easy job for him. But the Millers are showing the competitiveness on offense that they have all season.
Yeah, and the Dons have had opportunities to put it in the end zone.
And this extra point will be blocked. No good. And it was either Brady Mern or Jack Wren that pulled that off. I actually think it was Brady Mern. And you'll see Mern do a lot on these like kickoffs and extra points. He got, against St. Mary's, 2 recoveries on the kickoff, and he gets a blocked field goal here. I think it's not his first either. But yeah, the safety, the junior, he does a lot of extracurriculars on special teams. So it'll remain 6-3, which means the Dons can tie it up with a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, the Dons have had their opportunities when it comes to offensive possessions. The score could be tied right now if Owen Shine had chipped that field goal in, or the Dons could be leading by 8. But that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, like those false start penalties that took away Braden Pross's touchdown. It's just the way things go. You're right. And it's going to be Braden Pross and Corey Adams back to receive the kick. Pross has only got one of these returns, actually. And it went back for 25 yards. Meanwhile, Corey Adams averages about 8.5 per return.
Yeah, Jesse Legree's back there with him, too.
And this kick will be fielded by Adams. Adams forward. There's a big gap in the middle. Corey Adams still on his feet, and he gets past the 35. Nice
Man,
return there from Corey Adams.
I thought he was going to take that one all the way. Nice ankle tackle, saved it, but man, that gap in the middle was opened up.
And they're going to call that a 30-yard return there from Corey Adams. Definitely higher than his 8.5 average.
The kick was fielded
At about, the 6-yard line.
yeah, so it was fairly far out from the end zone. Usually you see kickers boot it pretty far.
They'll put Legree in motion, give it to him in the sweep. Legree fighting past the 40, and it's a gain of about 6 or 7 yards on the play for Jesse Legree.
That was a cheeky little play call there by Blake Henry. I like it.
Yeah, Jesse Legree definitely does a lot of these jet sweep plays. Kind of reminds you of Zay Flowers on the Ravens offense.
Yeah, a little bit, and that's what Milford Mill's offense was looking like there for a little bit when they were hitting a lot of those screen plays. And then, of course, the little read option when all the Dons bid on the run.
So it is 2nd and 3 following that 7-yard rush on the Loyola 43. Pressure comes. Cease deep over the middle looking for Legree, and it's caught! Jesse Legree inside the 20.
What a snag by Legree. Now, personally, I thought Cease put it a little bit short, but Legree went up and got it. Amazing play. And the Dons are in scoring position once again.
What a throw there into double coverage on Jesse Legree, and what a catch. And that'll put them down to the Milford Mill 21. They'll go handoff to Hines, and he's stuffed. Gain of about 1. So 2nd and 9 from the 20. And the Dons are in the red zone for the second time tonight. But yeah, Jesse Legree's definitely been the guy on this drive. Getting them forward with the sweep and then that huge gain. Mason Russell now in the backfield. They'll try a run with him. And this one's not going anywhere either. The Milford Mill defense has been really stuffing up the Dons' run game.
So it'll bring up another third down for the Dons.
This one will go back a yard. It's 3rd and 10.
It's third down.
So the Dons entered the red zone, then they exited the red zone.
Yeah, and in just 4 plays, they've made their way all the way down the field. But they have to convert this 3rd and long or else they'll be forced to kick another field goal.
Yeah, George, it was really just that one big play from Cease to Legree.
They'll go play action. Over the middle, Corey Adams, flag is down, and that's easily defensive holding. And that should get the Dons all the way up. And it'll be pass interference. And Corey Adams is exchanging some words here. But they're actually going to be, it looks like they might call this on Loyola. I'm not sure, but Corey Adams was definitely held up on that play. So I think they're calling this an illegal man downfield for the Dons, and they're sending out the kick team.
That penalty is declined. Brings up
So yeah, the penalty on Loyola, that's declined, although there definitely looked like to be a hold on Adams.
side on for a field goal attempt.
And this will be a 38-yard attempt. He made one from 37, and he missed another from 23 tonight. So, another 3rd field goal try for Owen Shine to tie the game. Kick is on the way. And this one is good. From 38 yards, Owen Shine ties this game up at 6.
So by the look of the score, excuse me, you might think it's been a boring game as of late, and it really hasn't. That 6 you see it on Milford Mill's side, that's a touchdown. The extra point was blocked by Brady M. Dons have 2 field goals, but have been in the red zone a considerable amount of times, just cannot convert on 3rd downs in the red zone.
So Shine's been a busy guy tonight. He'll be kicking it off again. It's his 3rd kickoff of the night. He's also had 3 field goal attempts. And it'll be Kobe Sarkodie back to receive. And Michael Smith Jr. And it'll be fielded by Smith in the end zone for a Milford Mill touchback.
This Dons defense really needs to stiffen up. They let up that long touchdown last time on the read option. So now they'll be biting on both, that's for sure.
It's been a busy half, but still low scoring. Although the Millers coming off of their first successful offensive drive. Prior to that, they had 2 3-and-outs, and it's up to the Loyola defense to adapt and stop them. As Newbern throws short, and they will have a 1st down, and it is Romero Eisen who gets the better of Adams on that play.
Yeah, he made a nice move on a couple of Dons defenders. Picks up a 1st down.
Newbern's in the gun. They'll hand off to Epp, and it looks like he's going to get a lot of snaps at running back tonight.
Yeah, but he just met a brick wall and was stopped in his tracks.
And Epp is limping off the field. And they'll change him out with another running back. It's DeJuan Nelson.
Yeah, I was going to say, it almost looked like his ankle got a little bit twisted up on that play.
And it's funny, they must have like 6 or 7 running backs on this team, and they can all carry the ball for, and Epp is down on the ground on the sideline. As this pass is short right and hustled out of bounds, it'll bring up 3rd and short. But yeah, it looks like Epp is in a lot of pain here. He is now on his feet, which is the good news. Newburns, handoff up the middle, and this will be good for a Miller's first down. It's DeJuan Nelson.
Yeah, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon on that play. I mean, the acceleration is honestly immaculate. I mean, as soon as he got that ball, he basically had the first down.
So they do convert. Newburn will hand it off again to Nelson. Nelson getting away, and another first down. And like we said, this run game comes from about almost 10 different people on this team. And they really spread the ball out.
Yeah, now we're seeing the effect of that Milford Mill run game, as you were saying. And the speed that is involved with it as well.
Millers go, hurry up. They're on the Dons 37. Short pass here. They've been running like the same set of plays over and over again, and this one's gonna slow them down.
Yeah, it's been that stretch run, and then the just the dive in the middle.
And it was Brady Murren with the tackle there on Kamal Browner. Handoff up the middle to Nelson. Nelson gets free for another first down, and they are really utilizing this run game against the Dons here. And a timeout called by Loyola with 5:50 to go in the half. It's their second of the half, and we will be back after the break. Both teams taking the field on the back of that timeout. And if you're just joining us, this game is tied 6-6. Dons with 2 field goals. The Millers with a touchdown and a missed extra point. It is 5:50 to go here in the half. It is 1st and 10 from the 19. 5 plays into this drive. It's the first handoff that hasn't gone for over 10 yards.
And there's also a holding penalty.
So this will definitely bring them back.
And you'd like to see the Dons keep them from scoring or hold them to a field goal, because as we've seen, this Milford Mill team does not kick field goals. Like, when they get close to scoring a touchdown, they're going to score a touchdown. They just have insane momentum.
Yeah, they've converted a lot over and over again in the red zone. This will send them back 10 yards to the 29 of Loyola.
It's almost like opposite narratives for these teams. The Dons are moving the ball really well outside of the red zone, and then they just stall.
Newburns over the middle and incomplete. He threw in a triple coverage.
Yeah, that was a dangerous looking ball. I thought a blue jersey was going to come up with that one.
Yeah, and you had Evan Jackson, you had Brady Murren, and you had Derek Cease in there. Not the ideal spot to throw it. The target there was Darrell Pearson, his first target. And he's had a lot of progress as the wide receiver too, with 433 yards over 19 catches, 6 touchdowns for him. And it was the free safety Evan Jackson who was marked on him. Newburns, pressure comes, got to get it away, and dropped by Pearson. He's shoved to the ground by Legree at the end of the play. But that didn't look like it was going anywhere, even if he caught it.
Yeah, and that was just an ugly drop there by Pearson. It looked like he tried to turn and run before the ball was secured in his hands.
So now the Dons have got him where they want him. 3rd down and 20 from the 29. And if forced to take a long field goal, who knows what would happen because they haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it'll be a real test for their kicker, whose leg hasn't seen much action this season.
Yeah, except for those chip shot extra points as Newbern dropped back. Fires into the end zone and caught. They won't need to kick because it's a touchdown.
What a strike from Milford Mill.
It'll make the game 12-6 pending the extra point. A 29-yard touchdown. And I'm not sure exactly who it was who caught it.
And Milford Mill's going to go for that 2-point conversion, trying to make it a better looking score here.
Or they just don't trust the extra point. I mean, it was blocked, to be fair. And Newburns takes it in the end zone. They will get this.
Yeah, just simple quarterback keeper. Not a hard decision for Milford Mill.
So it is 14-6, 5:25 to go in the half. And the Dons have some work to do and then some.
Yeah, good news for them. Still a 1-score game if you go for that 2-point conversion. But maybe the Dons can look to double dip here. Use up all the clock, score a touchdown, then score again because they get the ball.
Get this 2-point conversion over with. And they do get the ball at the end of the half. So, yeah, you're right. If I were Blake Henry, my message would be right now, take this one nice and slow.
Yeah, use up all that clock, and then get it again.
And it looks like Milford Mill have been struggling to get their guys on the field for these kickoffs. You can see the coaches yelling like, kickoff, get out there, return, get out there. And they've always got a few stragglers. As it's Pross, Legree, and Adams back to receive. Pross the deep man, but it won't even get to him. Adams will receive. From about the 15, end around, Corey Adams getting away. Corey Adams with a burst of speed to the 40. And he gets out at around the 45.
Nice little return there from Adams.
He's had a good game kick returning this year.
Yeah, he looked one way, saw it was all stopped up, and reversed the other way. Got some good yards.
That's like back-to-back 30-plus yard returns for Corey Adams here.
Great job for him.
Adams returns to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 Dons.
So 1st and 10 from their own 42, the Dons. And you don't really want to run maybe because Milford Mill has had this run game strapped, but at the same time, you don't want to leave him a lot of time on the clock. That last drive took him through about 3 minutes. As Russell, with his first big carry of the night, that's good for a 1st down. And this time, Milford Mill don't stop the run.
Yeah, kudos to Russell, but those blocks that picked up were great. And he had a couple offensive linemen helping him drag along there as he picked up a 1st.
Yeah, it was Brandon Kelly and Elias Paul leading the way, both the right tackle and right guard for the Dons, who plowed the way there for Mason Russell. Now on the 45 of the Millers. Handoff again to Russell, and this one's going back for a negative yardage.
Yeah, and it looked like to me those blocks tried to set up a little bit too quickly and let those D linemen through, trying to get to that 2nd level.
So it went from the Dons 42 to the Millers 45, now back to their 43. 2nd and 12. Sorry, to the 47, actually. As Harper Rudolph checks out. So they won't be running a 2 tight end set here, which probably means this one's going through the air. And it is. C steps back, flag flies. Cease going deep, has a man open, it's Legree. Legree to the end zone! And this one might get called back.
It's a touchdown for now, pending the penalty. And by the way, they didn't call it. They threw the flag as soon as the ball was snapped. So usually that means they get a free play. We'll see what happened here, but
this would be the second called back touchdown in a row due to a flag, which is really unlucky for the Dons. Or maybe not. Maybe they take more time off the clock and score anyway, but they're calling this a false start on Loyola, so right after that nice play by the offensive line, they just cost the Dons yet another touchdown.
and that one's just confusing to me. Usually the officials would stop the play for a false start.
So this one goes back to the Loyola 48, and they should have stopped that play. You're right, I agree. Instead of let it develop, because now Milford Mill kind of knows the play call.
And it just gave me too much hope.
Yeah, that and the Prost touchdown, that looked like really nice play design, thrown into double coverage, but they both get called off due to some sloppy errors.
And I mean, Legree was wide open, streaking down the sideline.
So it'll be 2nd and 17. They go play action. Cease, pressure comes, got it off to his brother, Derek Cease, and he is hustled to the ground. Ball comes out, and Milford Mill will pick it up. Derek Cease loses the ball, and it's Jordan Taylor who picks it up.
The fans think he was down. The officials think otherwise.
So Jordan Taylor will recover it. And a lot of complaints here. You're right, Reed, that he was indeed down, but we won't know. And now Milford Mill has a chance to extend the lead before half. That is detrimental. Coming off of a touchdown that the offensive line took back, and then that happens. How unlucky.
George, I won't even lie. I thought for a second that was going to be play action double pass, straight out of college football 25, and there was going to be a wide open wide receiver because, as you know, Derek Cease is the backup quarterback, so he can sling the ball almost as well as his brother.
That is true. Him and Carlos Spencer is also the backup, the freshman. So that gets to the 25.
The Dons are in a really bad spot right now.
Yes, they are.
They started the game off strong. They really did. 2 3-and-outs by Milford Mill. The defense was playing great.
And Derek Cease was definitely held up on that play. Who could have gotten a tackle there. And instead, it'll be a first down inside the 15 for Milford Mill.
And the refs are just not siding our way this game.
Yeah, Derek Cease does not look happy after that play. And they will be calling this foul. So Derek Cease does get his way, and this one will be going back to the 35. But yeah, and really unfortunate events there for the Dons. They definitely want this one back, and we do too, but it won't be happening, so now they have to get a stop at all costs. What better way, though, to do that 1st and 20 situation now? 3:04 to go in the half. If you're just joining us, the Millers lead the Dons 14-6.
Yeah, I mean, really, what better way than letting them pile up a couple of penalties and then making it easy?
Newburns on the read option play and going absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, nice little speed option there.
It gave the Dons more time to react, in my opinion. They saw that coming. Instead, if they had just given it to Nelson, I feel like he would have had a nice rip up the sideline like he normally has this game. But that'll move the ball forward to 2nd and 18 from the Dons' 33-yard line. Almost to the 2-minute mark. They'll hand off to Nelson again, trying to run out of time. And this one is stuffed too. The Dons need to think about calling a timeout soon here. But they only have one left. So Marsalek gets the tackle there. And it's a gain of 1, 3rd and 17. And I think if the Dons don't let them convert here, they need to call a timeout because it is under 2 minutes to go. And we know Milford Mill will run down the clock. Newburn steps back, looking deep, and nearly broken up by Brady Murn. Nice coverage there, and good news is this one's incomplete, so the Dons can save their timeout for another day. And on 4th and 17, honestly, they're keeping the offense out, and I don't disagree with this. They probably just want to get the ball, run the ball forward, get as much yards as they can, because I'm not trusting their kicker with the field goal here, but also you don't want to punt in this situation either.
Right, especially after he hasn't kicked one all season. Now, the down and distance is pretty insane. 17 yards to go. We know they can pick it up. We've seen explosive plays from them all night.
Newburn's just letting the precious seconds fly. Firing to the end zone, Legree bats it away. Excellent coverage by Jesse Legree.
The Dons have a minute 38 to work with. We'll see if they can cook something up here after a disastrous drive earlier.
Yeah, but on the bright side, Legree absolutely strapped Romero Eisen on that play. He was going nowhere. And now the Dons will take over with a timeout and a minute 38 to go, down by 8.
Yeah, honestly, I'd like to look back at the other play where Brady Murn almost got his hand on that. And personally, even though he didn't get his hand on that, I still think it was a great defensive play because that hand being up there really distracts the receiver. I mean, it bounced right off of his chest.
So the Dons will start from their own 32, and they need to get down there faster than they did earlier. But it was good that they got that stop. It was really crucial there. Excellent coverage by both Legree and Murn. Play action now to Hines. Cease, pressure comes, breaks the tackle, and he has his brother Derek. Derek Cease choosing to stay in bounds, but he'll get the first down, which will stop the clock for a brief moment, but they need to get set, and they need to do it fast.
Nice play there by the Cease twins. I mean, did you see that evaded sack by Brad Cease?
That was a really good job
He had
managing
two
that pocket pressure.
guys on him, and he spun right out of it.
And a nice link up there with his twin brother to move the ball down the field. A minute 28 to go. That play took off 10 seconds. And the chains aren't set yet, so they don't have to move the clock yet. And the clock will start.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to call this holding on the defense. That'll bump them up.
And it'll stop the
way
clock.
Up to the 46-yard line. And there's a little bit of confusion here, I think, as to where the ball should be.
Yeah, both teams and the refs are confused right now.
Yeah, because it was on the 44 of the Dons. Now it's on the 46 of the Millers. Cease, pressure comes, fires, going deep for Legree. It's a repeat. Jesse Legree in and out of the hands of Legree. He'll want that one back. It was an exact repeat of the last play. No fouls. And just a slightly overthrown there. And yeah, it's just been a lot of unlucky moments here for the Dons.
It hit Legree right in the hands, and he couldn't haul it in.
To be fair, though, he was really off balance and like halfway to the ground there, diving for that ball. But it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 46, and they better hope that they score on this drive to make up for that. Cease, pressure comes over the middle, and that could have been intercepted. A dangerous throw there to Kari Adams, and that was nearly picked off by Kevin Gilbert.
I think Cease overestimated his speed a little bit.
So now 3rd down and 10 from the Milford Mill 46, and they need to think long and hard about how they're going to convert this. So with a minute 16 to go, it's 3rd and 10 from the 46. Cease in the gun, Hines to his right. Cease rolls out to the right, pressure comes, breaks one sack. Cease stiff arms, and they're gonna keep him in bounds. Dons are probably gonna go for this, but the clock will stop now after flags fly at the end of this play. Clock is stopped at 58. And if this is an unsportsmanlike conduct on Milford Mill, that could put the Dons up a lot, actually, and it could give them an automatic first down. Well, I'll await the call here from the head referee tonight.
And while they talk this over, we'll step away for a second.
So the call is that there is a foul on both teams, dead ball foul, and they're offsetting penalties, so it will uphold a 4th down result. And I'm not sure. Are we going for this if you're the Dons? 4th and maybe like 11-ish?
If I'm Coach Henry, I'm going for this because I'm not going to lie, 58 seconds on the clock. We know this offense is explosive, but can they move down the field
Well,
and score in time?
the answer is on 4th and 9, they will be punting.
And we've seen this a lot from Blake Henry. He's not as aggressive as some of the fans would like him to be.
And we'll know later on in the game if this decision is a mistake or not, but for now, it is Milford Mill ball pending the result of this punt. Punt is on the way, high and long, and it will sail into the end zone. Not yet. They tried to keep it out. It was Zach Routson, I think. No, sorry, Karsten Brown, who tried to keep it out of the end zone. Could not do so.
Yeah, and Owen Chang was back there for a minute, prancing around, waiting to kick that ball. Thought maybe he was going to take a shot and throw it, but that'd be a little too aggressive from Blake Henry there.
And it'll be a touchback, so the 20. They start on their own 20. New Burns, and let's see, maybe they can pull off a freak play and get down field as fast as they can. Probably not. New Burns keep it up the middle, and this one could have been pretty much guessed, but that is a 1st down and then some. As New Burns will get to the 35-yard line. 15-yard pickup for him. New Burns, short play here to Pearson, and he's wrapped up by LeGree, not going anywhere. And a timeout taken by the Millers. Their 2nd of the half. So that's a really big play there from Jesse LeGree, keeping that in the end zone. And if you're the Dons, your mindset right now is hold them here. You get the ball next half. You get the ball first drive next half. Take some time and think about how you want to execute the drive. I mean, but if we're really seriously reflecting on that first half, it was a lot of just bad luck for the Dons. 2 touchdowns getting called back. A lot of penalties. And some scrappy play from both teams so far. Yeah, but they did have a couple deep shots that they really wish they could have back. So 2nd and 12 from the 34 of Milford Mill. That was a loss of 1 on the play by Jesse LeGree. New Burns steps back, pressure coming, and an incomplete pass. Cole Mosier was right there, waiting for the ball to get to Pearson. So LeGree tacks on his 1st tackle for a loss of the season for him with that one. It's now 3rd and 12, 17 seconds to go for the Millers, so probably not going to get anything out of this drive unless they score, probably on this play. Not sure the decision-making on this play. And the Dons will probably take a timeout here. And they're letting the clock run, but they definitely need to get that clock bumped up a lot more. Because they called that timeout with about 9 seconds, and they just let it wind down to 2.
Gain of 2 on the play. 4th down.
Yeah, so they will bump it up to 7 seconds.
Yeah, so with 7 seconds on the clock, there's not going to be much time for the Dons to do much of anything here.
So this will be I think it'll probably be a punt. And it will be. They have the wide receiver, Daniel Pearson, I think, who does the punts for this team. It is Daniel Pearson. Not only is he the wide receiver, he also averages 36 yards a punt. His long is 45, compared to Owen Shine, whose long is over 60 yards. So Pearson to punt it away, and it's Adams and Legree back to receive. Pearson, flags fly, punt is blocked, and picked up.
No, it's still on the ground. Time has run out on the clock. A flag flew as soon as the ball was snapped.
It was picked up there by Mason Gibson, and I think it was blocked by number 61 for the Dons, Jason Block. Could be wrong about that, though.
There's a flag on the field.
But the Dons they might want to hope that that flag is against them so that they have more time on the clock. But if they had picked that up with just like 1 second left, that would put them right at like the 10-yard line, you know.
And able to kick a field goal or take a shot to the end zone.
Yeah, but you definitely, if you're like Derek Cease, who had the ball in his hands, you're going to wish that you got that ball and got on the ground faster, because then they would have had good field position with some time on the clock. But we'll await the call.
And I think they were trying to go for that scoop and score, you know, pick the ball up and just run into the end zone, because the end zone was right there.
These fumbles, they look easy to recover, but they're a lot harder than you'd think. Especially when you know there's players around you, where as soon as you pick up the ball, they're going to hit you. So it's a penalty on Milford Mill, and Loyola is declining the penalty. That's what we know so far, based off of what we've seen. They're going to call it a false start. Penalty declined,
That penalty is declined.
which means both teams will go, I think, into halftime, but we're not sure. So if Loyola declines the penalty, that would just mean halftime, right?
Well, yeah, because they picked up the fumble with no seconds on the clock.
Then I'm not sure why decline it. They might be accepting it. But from the looks of the referee, the side judge, he told the head ref Loyola was not planning on accepting the penalty. So I guess the declining of the penalty means it's a redo, since the fumble may have not been able to stand anyway. I think because of the false start, the fumble doesn't work, because
Right, he doesn't get the blocked punt.
right. So they're gonna have to put 7 seconds back up on the clock.
Right now it's sitting at 20 minutes.
So there should be 7 seconds left.
Loyola has chosen to take the penalty. And we will regain.
Yeah, I mean, this punter isn't great when it comes to punting yardage.
And I think that they just knelt it out there from that play on 4th down instead of punting it away.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, because if they kneel it, then it would be first down.
It would be a turnover on downs, but there's no seconds on the clock. So that will bring us to halftime. Miller's leading the Dons 14-6 on the Loyola Sports Network. Back at it for the second half, and if you're just joining us, the Millers lead the Dons 14-6. Here on the Loyola Sports Network, they kick it away. It was a squib kick up the middle, but they're going to call it back for some reason.
Muhammad team on the kick. Brady front. Back to receive.
So you kick it away, it is Muhammad Zion. And it will be a squib kick up the middle. Picked up by Corey Adams. Corey Adams is doing the run, and that was not a good idea for Milford Mill. He could have gotten away there.
Yeah, and they kind of gave up what they were going to do when it got called back on the penalty, so I'm not sure it was a very smart idea continuing with that.
It definitely wasn't a good idea, if we're being fair. So Loyola will take over possession, and let's be fair. I mean, they need to score on this drive, or this game all of a sudden gets 10 times harder.
Yeah, it's still that one-score game, as we talked about earlier, but obviously you need the touchdown and two-point conversion.
So Cease stepping back, fires over the middle, and just over the fingertips of his twin brother, Derek. Incomplete.
Yeah, and it's always dangerous when you overthrow a receiver like that because there's can always be a safety lurking back there just waiting to snag that ball, but Cease got lucky there.
So it will be second down and 10 from the 42. It'll be Mason Russell, pick up about a few. And he was thrown into the fence at the end of the play there. And that, much to the anger of the fans for Loyola. They do not like that at all.
Yeah, no, and I'm honestly surprised the flag wasn't thrown at that because he was so clearly out of bounds.
And they just basically tossed him into the bleachers, basically. So 11:44 to go in the third quarter, if you're just joining us. Millers 14, Dons 6. It's 3rd and 7 from their own 45. Cease in the gun. Pressure comes. Cease escapes the pressure, and he's going to use his legs. Cease picks up the first down, just barely, as he gets past the Millers 48-yard line, and he will have a first down.
Yeah, nice little scamper there by Brad Cease, able to escape that pressure, pick up the first down for his Dons.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Millers 47. Cease gets the play call and steps back into the field. They need to tie this up to prove that they're going to be able to contend with this undefeated Millers team. Cease steps back. Here comes the pressure. He'll take it himself yet again. Cease getting around the end. Flag comes down, and it looks to be on Loyola.
And Cease with that head-first dive just shows how resilient he is. One of the bigger quarterbacks in the MIAA, and he can power forward if he needs to.
He definitely is, standing at 6'3", 215 pounds. The senior, and he probably picked up about 7 or 8 on that play, but it looks like it'll be coming back. And if this is another penalty on that offensive line, they'll be pretty mad.
Yeah, because offensive line penalties have been kind of the story of this game so far. They've called back 2 touchdowns.
I think this was holding. So they'll replay first down. It is about 1st and 15 from the Dons 48. They're back in their own territory.
So Cease's run, ex-nade.
And it'll actually be, well, they're saying replay first down, but the clock says it's 3rd now.
Yeah,
but it is first. It is first down. Cease steps back, fires over the middle, and pass broken up, but that is clearly pass interference, and Braden Pross will pick up the automatic first down.
Yeah, multiple flags flew on that play, and you knew it was pass interference just from the way the DB played it. He was draped over Braden Pross.
Yeah, they're calling that one on Covey Sarkody. He's been the #1 guy on the defense in that secondary for Milford Mill, and he makes the mistake of getting hit too handsy there with Braden Pross. And that's going to move him up a very decent amount of yards. It'll get him inside the Milford Mill 40 or just outside. So 42-yard line of Milford Mill is where this ball is going to be played. It's first down and 5. Cease in the gun. Russell to his right. We haven't seen Richie Hines yet this half. Flags fly, and this is going to be first down and 10 now. This is another thing where the Dons will get a penalty in their favor, and then they'll bring the yards right back. So it went from first and 10 to first and 15, then to first and 5, and now back to first and 10.
Yeah, it's just been a sloppy game so far, really. Multiple penalties for each team.
Yeah, so it seems like this might be the first real test for the Millers, and they're handling it nicely. The Dons definitely have been in and out of the game. This is their chance to get back in it now. Pressure comes, and Cease finds Mason Russell. Russell will pick up the first down inside the 30, and he'll get inside the 25. Really nice play adapting there by Brad Cease.
Yeah, nice little find from Cease. I mean, the dump off, he had so much room to run there as all the receivers vacated the area. There was no one.
Yeah, that was honestly really nice adaptation from both Russell and Cease, as Russell had a lot of yards after the catch there. And we're about 2 minutes into quarter 3, and the Dons are driving. They're now on the Millers' 23-yard line with about 10 minutes to go. First and 10. Cease in the gun. Cease. They'll go handoff to Russell. Russell picks up the first down. Flag is flying at the end of the play, and this might be some unnecessary roughness on the Millers.
Yeah, some sort of tackling penalty is what you see when the official that is looking straight at the
That is not the
play.
case this time. It is holding on the Dons. So, yeah, there's been a lot of flags on the offensive line tonight, and that has definitely been one of their huge weak spots.
And we'll replay first down.
So, I was surprised that Russell was able to get that far because the Millers' run defense has been pretty good, but that kind of explains it. And it's now first and 15 from the 28.
Dons have drained 2 minutes, 30 seconds off this clock, worked their way down the field, but penalties have really held them back so far, and here's another one.
This better not be a false start. And it's going to be a neutral zone infraction on the Millers. And I was going to say, if that was a false start, and I'm head coach Blake Henry, I would be absolutely livid.
Yeah, I would pull a bunch of offensive linemen out of the stands and put them in instead.
Yeah. It is first and 10 now from the 23. So, like I said, it was first and 15, now back to first and 10. It's just been all over the place with these penalties.
Yeah, in reality, though, our offensive line has been amazing all season. I mean, there's two sophomores starting. They've been...
It is a fairly young offensive line, you're right. No seniors on the offensive line. Cease fires deep. He's got Pross in triple coverage. Incomplete.
Pross couldn't hang on to that ball. He had it in his hands, got it slammed out by one of the 3 defenders in the area.
And the one play they do manage to get off is incomplete into triple coverage, but Pross did have a good opportunity there, so we'll look to see what happens here on second and 10. Don's getting set. 2 tight ends here. They'll go play action. Cease up the middle. He'll take it into the end zone himself.
There-
Touchdown, Loyola.
And there's Cease with his legs again. What an amazing play. As we were saying earlier, one of the most resilient quarterbacks in the MIAA.
Yeah, and you'll watch. They have a 2 tight end set lined up to the right, so it makes you think that Mason Russell's going that right side. He sells the fake perfectly, and he is absolutely gone because of how much defenders they had stacked on that right side.
And you know what's funny, George? I was just about to say, when you see that 2 tight end set, you can almost guarantee that it's a run play, and they faked him out great.
Might be not as good as Owen Newburn's fake, but it got the job done, and pending this 2-point conversion, there will be a tie game. Don's looking to get it to 14-14.
What a play from the Dons.
Man in motion, it's Derek Cease. Cease looking for his brother, and into the end zone. We have a tie game. Believe it or not, Milford Mill not up by 20 in the 3rd quarter. But this is not your average opponent for Milford Mill. This is an MIAA opponent in Loyola Blakefield, so we have a ball game.
Yeah, it's been a good one so far, and the Dons just made it even more interesting, finally converting in the red zone.
Yeah, they got the job done this time, and it's their first touchdown of the night. So in this back and forth game, it's Owen Shang, who's been a name we're going to be calling a lot tonight. We already have called his name a lot. He's 2 for 3 tonight, field goal wise, and this is what, his 4th or 5th kickoff. And it'll be Romero Eisen back to receive the kick. This one gets way past Eisen. It actually lands in the back of the end zone, so we'll have a touchback.
What happened to this?
So Owen Newburns takes over from the 20, and the last time he came out on the field before halftime, Loyola forced that turnover on downs and another punt. That defense for Loyola, they came in clutch at the end of the first half, keeping the Dons in the game. If they hadn't, this could look a lot different. A lot of that thanks to Legree and Mern. And speaking of Brady Mern, he has his tackle here, but it is a first down for the Millers, and it's Epps who's back in the game after that injury. But you know who we haven't heard of from is the three rushing leaders on the team. None of their top 3 running backs have gotten any snaps tonight, as Mason Gibson has the tackle here.
Yeah, and they're just gashing the Dons with the run game as of late.
And I'm not sure if there are injuries or suspensions, but they were sitting a lot of their players.
You know, George, it might be a strategic decision from Milford Mill because none of those guys are on too much of film. So in order to keep the Dons defense guessing, they're starting the running backs who can perform just as well as the starters.
Yeah, as this one's hustled back, we did hear that there was a certain player on Milford Mill, although I don't remember who, that was suspended for just the first half of this game due to unsportsmanlike conduct in the previous game. So I'm not actually sure who it is, but we'll probably see, because whoever it is, they're playing in this half. As this is a first down for Nelson.
Those screen passes are, as of right now, and so have been so far in this game, about a guaranteed 5 to 10 yards for this Milford Mill team. And the ceiling on those screen plays is infinite. Like, they could go for a touchdown every time if the Dons defense didn't play so well.
Newburn's handoff up the middle, and that's all they've done today. This drive is running.
Yeah, that one goes nowhere, though, so maybe the Dons defense can start keying in on this run.
And it looks like most of the student section has relocated down to the end by the building of Knott Hall over there, leaving the stands. I guess they want to be closer to the action. And this play goes nowhere. It'll be now 3rd and long for the Millers, and the Dons are making a case to take the lead in this game if they can get a stop here. Defense has been looking great this drive.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, George. The Dons have them on the ropes so far, and it really puzzles me about the student section moving.
I mean, I get it.
I'm not really sure what's going on there.
New Burns in the gun. 3rd and 9. New Burns going deep and intercepted. It's Brady Mern. What a play by the junior.
Amazing defense from Brady Mern. And George, you know what that reminds me of exactly? That play from the Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl, where on the goal line, instead of running it, they passed.
That's exactly what Malcolm Butler, that's exactly what we're talking about. So that's Brady Mern's first interception of the year, and what a play by him.
The safety and receiver collide, and the safety comes away with it. What a play, Brady Mern.
And he just bought the Dons a huge opportunity, because now they're driving, and they probably will be taking the lead.
Now, I wouldn't jinx it, George.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's a good point. Because
I wouldn't jinx it, George.
These penalties have been a killer, so when the defense gives you an opportunity, you got to take it. Same play they did to Legree earlier. This time it's Corey Adams. And Adams gets just short of the first down line. It'll be 2nd and inches.
Yeah, Adams with great speed,
and there's
slicing his way through the defense.
Yeah, there's just been this huge momentum shift here, what we're talking about from like midway through the 2nd quarter. It was Milford Mill who were starting to take control of this game, and now the Dons are fighting tooth and nail back into it.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. And on 2nd and short here, we'll see if they take a deep shot.
And there is some sort of stoppage. We're not sure what it is. But if you're just joining us, 5:25 to go. Dons and Millers are tied 14-14. And if you're Milford Mill, this is not the usual game for them. They've won most of their games by like 30 plus. Not tonight.
Yeah, so the Dons hanging in this one is abnormal for Milford Mill. So we'll see if they can handle this kind of high-pressure situation.
Cease to his brother Cease, and that'll be good for a Loyola first down.
Yeah, it doesn't get much, but gets the first down yardage,
Yeah,
so that is key.
Not sure why the defense was celebrating right there, because they did just give up a conversion.
Now the crowd under us is back into this one.
Yeah, one player we haven't heard a lot of from tonight. I mean, we've called his name a few times, but Romero Eisen, Legree has done some damage to him tonight. Him alongside Amari Patterson.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. Legree has been proven to be too much for him.
And flags fly. Meanwhile, Cease has his brother over the middle. Derek Cease. Lateral to Corey Adams. Touchdown, Loyola.
Not another penalty called back. Please,
Yeah.
no. Please, no.
You better hope that this is not a flag.
It's on. They're saying it's on the Dons.
Oh, my God.
They're saying it's on the Dons.
You're kidding me. That may have just been the play of the season, and it's another false start. You're kidding me.
Now, I'm no Chiefs fan, but that looked exactly like a Travis Kelce type of play to pitch it back for the touchdown.
It also looked like a Chiefs play getting it called back for the other team. And there has been, that's just, I feel like the minute I saw that touchdown, I knew the ref was going to do something about it. And Loyola fans are booing the refs heavily right now. This is the 3rd touchdown in a row for Loyola that has been called back due to an offensive penalty. And, I mean, if you're a Loyola fan, obviously you're rightfully extremely angry.
This game would be out of hand if it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for those touchdowns being called back, it would be out of hand.
And like we said earlier, if you're Loyola, you better get in the end zone after that. Hand off to Richie Hines, not going anywhere. And it'll be a gain of about 2. And that, I'm sorry, we got to keep talking about it. It's a huge letdown right there. You have the Mern interception, and then you have Derek Cease with like a 200 IQ move there to flip it back to Corey Adams. And unfortunately, this play is not getting on the highlight reel. And there is an injury, so we will go to a quick break. So coming off of that injury timeout, we actually just had the chance to speak to a few Loyola fans, and yeah, they are livid right now, and rightfully so. And in other news in Baltimore City, when we have St. Francis Academy taking on IMG, this is a top 20 in the nation matchup over at Morgan State University, and currently they're tied up at 3 as well. St. Francis has been good. Surprisingly, not the #1 team in the state. That honor goes to Archbishop Spalding High School in Severn, Maryland.
Yeah, both of those teams have been great.
2nd and 13, Cease going deep, and incomplete.
Blanket coverage there from Milford Mill.
And it'll now be 3rd and 13 from the 47-yard line. And if you're a Loyola fan, you're thinking, we were just in the end zone, and now it's 3rd and long, and we're barely into Milford Mill territory. What are we going to do now?
Yeah, and in my opinion, that wasn't the time to take a deep shot. On 2nd and 13, you need to pick some of those yards back before converting the easier 3rd down and then taking a couple shots.
You know, at some point you got to wonder, is it the offensive line or is it poor officiating? But, I mean, it's kind of past us now, so we can't really blame anybody now. As Cease takes off himself. Cease gets the 1st down. Brad Cease!
What a play from the senior. Goodness, Brad Cease breaking tackles all the way down the sideline. Picks up the long 1st down.
And that's got to make the Loyola fans a lot happier than they were a few minutes ago, as he just took that false start and turned it right around into a huge 1st down conversion. 24-yard carry for the quarterback. And honestly, Reed, what better way to respond than that?
Now we're in a timeout break here. So we'll be right back on Loyola Sports Network.
So on the back of that timeout, it looks like whoever the injured player was, they are okay now. But big play there for the Dons as it's now 1st and 10 from the 22. So they got to be tough, and they got to just pick their heads up after that blow. And they did. Brad Cease had a 24-yard carry on that last play.
I mean, it was huge. We were still talking about it. I mean, here in the booth, we're still fuming. But if the Dons get in the end zone, that would be some sort of reparation.
And they almost do there, and Brandon Pross was overthrown in double coverage, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And George, although it was double coverage, Pross kind of had him to the outside. Like, if that was a ball that had a little bit better of touch on it, like.
And definitely don't blame Brad Cease for that one, because that is a tough throw to make. He had really very limited visibility there to make that throw. So Cease in the gun, Russell to his left. Pross getting in motion in the left slot. They'll go play action. Corey Adams with the ball. Up the middle, Adams getting to the outside. Corey Adams with the 1st down inside the 10.
Adams still on his feet, powering forward. The Dons inching closer to that so beloved pay dirt.
And they're about to take revenge on whoever it is to blame for that called back. But now the ball is on the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. And they need to get in the red zone here. You just got to wonder, if the offense is getting a lot of false starts, then how come the flags are only being called on plays that are touchdowns? Now Cease in the gun. Russell beneath him. You'll probably see a run play here. And surprise, surprise, Russell is wrapped up and brought back for a loss of 3.
Handoff to Mason Russell. Stopped in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 12. They need to score on this down. Cease. Rolling out to his right. He's going to keep it himself. Cease hustles his way down to the 5, and it'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Another nice running play there from Brad Cease.
Yeah, the Dons need to hope that they get in on this play, because a field goal is not the end result they want at all. So yeah, this is the play they have to score on right here. Owen Shine is all the way on the other end of the field. And he doesn't look like he's going to be coming onto the field at all soon. But with 1:30 to go in the 3rd quarter, we have a tie game. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. They got to get the ball off. They do. Snap to Russell. To the end zone!
Touchdown!
Touchdown Loyola! And they have the lead over the #1 public school in the state.
What a stretch play. Great call there by Blake Henry. Stretch to the strong side. Blockers ahead, and he powers forward into the end zone.
And they won't be too upset about that penalty anymore, because now the Dons lead over the Millers. And to my knowledge, this is probably the first time the Millers have trailed this late in the game throughout the whole season.
Now, George, I have to ask you, have they even trailed at all? Have they ever been down?
I don't know. All I know is they don't kick field goals and they rarely punt.
And they've blown out basically every opponent they faced.
Absolutely. And the kick is good.
21-14 Dons.
Yeah, and it's funny. Prior to this game, Milford Mill have punted 7 times, right? And at the end of this game, they've punted they've punted about 5 times tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the Dons are sticking it to them. This defense has been feisty all night. Like, the Dons, I feel like, would be up by so much more if it wasn't for those penalties.
It's been about, like 4 punts for Milford Mill.
And George, I'm now sticking my hand out the window. The wind is kind of swirling out there.
Yeah, so when it comes down to it, we'll have to see if the field goals are, the wind's going to be a factor for them. As Milford Mill will take over down by 7, 1:15 to go in the game, in the third quarter, sorry.
So they'll start at their 40 after the ball
And
trickles out of bounds.
There's a flag, there is a flag down. It is
Yeah.
on Owen Shine.
Yeah, that's just because the kickoff went out of bounds.
Ball will be spotted on the 40-yard line. Stop out of bounds. Hey, ref, that clock's running, baby.
And the referees let that clock run for a real long time there.
Yeah. Like
After that,
45 seconds at least drained off that clock.
Just because,
Here's Milford Mill.
we just had to pop in and remind them to stop the clock there. And they'll pick about 3 or 4 on this play. So in this, with the run, running back Michael Smith. So he gets his first run. He has some crazy stats this year, by the way. 50 carries, 379 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's just on the ground. He has another touchdown through the air, and that's not even the most rushing yards on the team. Ferguson, who's not playing tonight, has, I think, about 830 yards on the ground, and they'll get just short of the first down line.
So it'll be 3rd and short. And if the Dons can get a TFL or just flat out incomplete pass here, then the Dons will be in a pretty nice spot.
That is the end of the third quarter, and the Dons are sticking it right now to the Millers as they lead 21-14 on the Loyola Sports Network. So start of the first quarter, it's Owen Newburns with the handoff up the middle, and they will convert on this 3rd and short situation. The ball was on their own 44, and they get close to the 50 now. So Loyola got to get a stop here, right? Because if the Millers get in the end zone, they're just putting the pressure back on. So if they get a stop, buy themselves some time, then they're probably on their way to handing the Millers their first loss of the season.
First down, Milford Mill.
I really like to see this Dons front hold steady here and not let them gash any big runs.
Absolutely. Going deep is Newburns, and nearly intercepted again by Mern. That would be his 2nd of the night, as well as his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. Even Mern was too short for that ball. That's how badly it was overthrown. So that one sailed over Mern's head.
Yeah, it was him and Corey Adams sticking that double coverage, and I don't think that was getting caught, even if it was on point.
Just too many defenders in the area. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, but Mern has had a really great eye on things here as the free safety.
Yeah, he's had some key plays. The one, or the couple that I remember the most is obviously the interception in the middle of the field, but then down there in the close left corner of your screen where he didn't tip the ball but got his hand in the receiver's face and forced that incompletion. So a couple great plays by Mern tonight.
Legree has also been really nice on defense, too, with some nice tackles for loss.
Yeah, Legree has been strapping up all night.
Newburn's in the gun. Looked like it would have been a handoff, and it's broken up. Derek Cease with the hops. He batted that down like a basketball, and it's now 3rd and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Yeah, just honestly an easy play for Cease there. He just had to jump up a little bit and swat that thing down.
So under 11 minutes to go in the game. Dons lead 21-14 if you're new here. So Newburn's 2nd and 10. Actually, sorry, 3rd and 10. Timeout Milford Mill. And much to the dismay of Romero Eisen, who did not want that timeout called.
Yeah, they just want to talk this one over, so we'll be right back on the Loyola Sports Network.
So coming off that timeout, they need this 3rd and 10. Newburns. Rolling out to the right. Newburns looking for his man, and Jesse Legree had that all the way. Like we said, he has locked up Eisen.
Yeah,
honestly, yeah, Romero Eisen, he's been in his pocket all game long.
Yeah, Legree with that strap down coverage. I mean, honestly, there was nowhere to even throw that ball.
And they'll punt it. And another funny thing about this team is that their wide receiver is also their punter, as we saw before, Darrell Pearson, to punt it away.
And the punting is one of the few things on this team that does not operate as well as the Dons do. Or, excuse me, like the Dons are winning this game. Like, they've been the better team thus far.
Everything's operating better right now. As Pearson barely gets this away, but it is a good punt, high and long.
The point I was...
fall to the feet of Legree, who dives on top of it, breaks the first 2 guys. Excellent job there by Jesse Legree. He gets out to the 30. He just took that ball and squeezed right in between the 2 defenders.
The point I was trying to make, George, was that his punting average is not great, around 35 to 40 yards.
Meanwhile, our punter, he averages about 60 yards.
Right, so not as big of a leg.
Owen Shine definitely does have an impressive leg. But for now, it's the Dons offense to come back on the field and see if they can really stick it to Milford Mill. End around handoff, really nice there from Karsten Brown. And that should be good for a first down. Big play there for the sophomore.
And it will. It'll move the sticks. So Karsten Brown, number 10, moves the chains for the Dons. What a play design from Blake Henry.
Yeah, prior to this, 17 carries for 26 yards for him, and this is definitely going to tack on a nice carry to that stat.
Yeah, nice little bit of average there for him.
So Richie Hines is now back in the game. We haven't seen a lot of him. They've really been putting Mason Russell as the main running back after the first quarter, but Richie Hines Gets the play action flick play there to Derek Cease. Cease stumbles, stays on his feet, and he has a first down.
That little stumble from Derek might have helped him out a lot because the defenders were keying in on him, and when he stumbled, that kind of messed him up a little bit.
Yeah, nice blocking there, by the way, from Jason Block, who they've actually put into the offensive line at left tackle. Correct me, he is the starting left tackle. The Dons really don't make a lot of changes to their offensive line. However, on their defensive line, they're constantly changing.
Yeah, trying to make sure that that defensive front doesn't get tired.
So they took off Derek Cease. Flag is down, and Corey Adams dropped the ball. It probably doesn't matter. And
it'll be on the Dons. Not quite sure what the penalty is.
This one they won't be as mad about as the 3 touchdowns that got called back. This game would be very different if those penalties hadn't been called. And Loyola fans are really, really handing it to the referee here. Yeah, they're not happy about it at all, Reed.
Not happy at all, and I don't blame them.
I mean, we're looking at the offensive line now, and we're watching, like, really closely, and we're just not, I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it either.
You know? It's the same group. You think they wouldn't be false start after false start all game, right?
Later tonight, I'm definitely going to go back in the stream.
Yeah, we got to take a look at this. 1st and 15 from the 48. Cease steps back. Pressure comes. Cease over the middle. Caught by Corey Adams. Really good job by Corey Adams hanging on to it.
Yeah, he got rocked in the middle there.
And it'll be 2nd down and 11 after a pickup of 4 there. In a double coverage, and he did get rocked, but props to Corey Adams for hanging on to that ball.
4-yard play, 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 11 from the 47-yard line. Cease in the gun, Russell to the right. Cease steps back. Russell in blocking, going deep. He has Pross.
And
it is complete.
They call it incomplete.
No, what? No, he caught that. He 1,000% caught that.
They called it an incomplete pass.
Are you kidding? No, he caught that. Are we serious? Come on now, are you, really? He caught that. Yeah, no, that was a nice catch there by Brady M.
I mean, it was a great catch. He snagged it out of the air, stuck it onto his helmet, and hung on to that thing. To me, that looked like a great catch.
Yep, and don't be surprised that it's been the same guy calling all those false starts. But it is what it is, and you can't change it now, so it's on to the next play. And timeout will be called by Loyola, their first of the half.
Yeah, and they want to talk this one over, make sure that emotions are all in the right place.
Yeah, especially after a big letdown like that. And so we will go to a quick break. So we're kind of talking about the pass there to Brandon Pross, and it is, I mean, take your pick, right, on whether or not it's a catch or not. It is, nevertheless, a letdown for the Dons fans here, as it's now 3rd and 11.
Yeah, 11 yards to go for this Dons offense. We know they could pick it up, especially with Brad Cease's legs. He has been electric tonight.
From
we'll
the
see
48, 8:43 to go. Cease steps back. Pressure coming, can't get away. Cease does get away. Brad Cease. He has really used his legs tonight in his last game on Connor Field, and he is making a statement.
Cease, another spin move out of a sack. What a play from Derek Cease, or Brad Cease, excuse me.
No, so Brad Cease, listen to this. 2nd time in a row, there's been a callback huge play. second time in a row, the play right after, Brad Cease just uses his legs and gets the job done himself. Huge first down, and now the Dons are in the red zone.
I mean, George, I wish we could see Brad's stats for tonight. He's probably over 100 rushing yards at this point.
No, well, come on. That's a little. He's had like two, 20, 30-yard carries, but he'll give it to Mason Russell, end around, and he gets stuffed for a loss of 1. And so for Milford Mill, they'll have some defensive substitutions. Latron Palmer, the sophomore, just checks in now. So 7:40 to go. If you're just joining us, the Dons lead 21-14, and they're driving to make it more. A field goal right now wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, make it a 2-score game.
Yeah, keep that in mind. And this is field goal range absolutely for Owen Shine. Play action over the middle, and it's cross, and this one is complete.
They're not looking for a field goal. They want the touchdown. As they move the chains, 1st and goal for the Dons.
And the Loyola student section is loving it. The fans are loving it. The sideline's loving it. As it's now 1st and goal from the 6. So Brad Cease in the gun, Russell beneath him. Expect to run in this 2 tight end set. And they'll give it to Russell. Russell fighting his way down to the goal line. And it'll bring up 2nd down and goal from about the 1 or 2.
He's stopped at the 1-yard line. Physical run there. This crowd is just waiting for the Dons to get in the end zone so they can erupt.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating night. So it'll be a big relief to score here. 2nd down and goal from the 1. Cease. They'll push him in himself.
And he's
And
got the
there we go.
touchdown! Brad Cease with another touchdown rushing.
Huge play there. And it is 27-14, and we can probably consider Milford Mill no longer undefeated.
Now, George, I wouldn't be so hasty. There's 6 minutes left on the clock. A lot can happen in 6 minutes.
No, right. That's true, right? But, come on.
They are currently being defeated by this Dons offense and defense.
So 6:10 to go, and pending this extra point, it should be 28-14. Dons up by 2 scores regardless. And this is blocked, and we saw that coming from a while away. The guy on the end, I think it was number 10 for Milford Mill, Messiah Turner.
Now, I don't know if it was all Turner because there were at least 4 guys there.
Yeah, but he got a nice jump on that ball. So it is still 27-14, but like we said, regardless, the Dons do lead by 2 scores. So it's going to be a mountain to climb for Milford Mill. And it was 14-6 earlier in the game, if you remember, Reed. Dons have turned this game on its head.
Yeah, it was 14-6, and now we have 21 unanswered points.
Back to receive for Milford Mill. Number 0, Michael Smith Jr.
So Dons will kick it away. Owen Shine. And the Dons have done this thing where they've been like facing the opposite end zone and then they all turn around simultaneously. It's kind of cool. As Shine boots this one to the goal line, it's picked up by Eisen. Eisen takes it out, beats Mern. Eisen beats Routson. Eisen down the sideline, he beats Rin. Still down the sideline is Eisen, and he's taken down by Cole Mosier.
Yeah,
And Cole Mosier looks exhausted after that tackle. He's had about, leading up to this game, he's led the MIA in tackles with 90, and he's been the rock of the Loyola defense from that middle linebacker position.
yeah, that was
just like what we saw before with Corey Adams in the reverse. He looked one way, saw it wasn't open, decided to go back the other way, and was sprinting down the sideline. Don's lucky that they even got him out in the first place.
And there's a flag down, and if they call this on Loyola, then that's awfully suspicious, if you ask me. How are you going to call this on Loyola? If anything, it should be probably holding or something on Milford Mill.
Yeah, George is trying to make up penalties now.
No, seriously, because I'm
like
actually
holding or maybe like roughing the passer.
Listen, if you get that far, right, it's a little suspicious. And how is that? Like,
Yeah.
I want to know what the penalty is.
Yeah.
Holding on Loyola, right? Defensive holding on a kick return that gets down into Loyola territory.
Maybe it was a face mask or
I don't know. Something. No, something's up. Something's up here tonight because. But clearly, Loyola have not let it deter them, as Brad Cease and the Loyola offense have responded to everything that's happened to them, all the adversity tonight.
At this point, the officials are literally just gifting the Millers yards and turn back touchdowns.
You know, it kind of feels weird to see them say the Millers because it sounds like we're talking about like a family, like a last name.
Agreed.
Like the
it
Miller
does sound weird to say the Millers.
So 1st and 10 from the 43. It's Owen Newburns. And there's a stoppage of some sorts.
Something's going on.
Derek Cease kind of just said, is it false start on Loyola?
Trying to will the officials.
No, he's saying, is it on Loyola? Because, you know, that's what they've been calling all day. It was kind of a bit of sarcasm there. Newburn stops back. Pressure comes. Ison. End around. He's not getting anywhere, if we're being honest.
Oh, he is getting somewhere.
Oh, never mind.
He's getting to the end zone.
All right, I'll shut up now. Are we kidding me?
Yeah, George, I think you should just be quiet from this point forward. Although there are flags on the field, we'll see if
Are
it's
you
on
kidding
Loyola.
me? No, they called that on Milford Mill. It's about time. You know what? I'm gonna say it. It's about time.
It is about time. Take that touchdown back.
So look, they take Ison. He's absolutely stuffed. You have Brady M chasing him. You have who is it?
That side is completely clogged.
You have Carson
Everybody's
Brown.
there.
Right. So they're all chasing him, and then he comes back the other way, and there was some great blocking there, but it was too great blocking.
A little bit suspicious.
Yeah, a little bit too much. So it is. That's going 15 yards back rather than the end zone. And you know what? I'm going to say it. It's about time, right?
It is about time. No more jinxes, okay, George?
Yeah, we're good. But that is a huge blow to the Millers, who had taken a step back into the game with 5 minutes left. That could have been a huge play for them, game-changing.
And the Loyola fans are happy, as they should be. There's now been 4 taken back touchdowns on penalties, 3 on Loyola, 1 on Milford Mill. So
Yeah, the Loyola fans are loving every second of this penalty on Milford Mill.
counting each and every yard.
But like, I'm thinking like there's been like over 10, like a lot of penalties on Loyola. This might be like the 3rd or 2nd penalty of the night on Milford Mill.
This crowd is loud beneath us.
Loyola defensive line getting set. They'll go handoff up the middle. And Evan Jackson with the tackle for Loyola.
And he'll almost get back to the sticks.
Yeah, almost. It'll be, what, 2nd down and 14. From the 47-yard line, 2nd and 14, 5 minutes to go in the game. If you're just joining us, Don's lead 27-14 over Milford Mill. Close to handing them their first loss of the season. Newburns fires, and it is complete. Not good for a 1st down before Corey Adams makes the tackle on Pearson, the punter.
And also wide receiver, George.
He's done more as a punter than a wide receiver tonight.
Which is rare for this team.
Absolutely, they don't, like we said, they don't punt, they don't kick field goals.
I would say they've punted probably the same amount of time in this game as they have the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly, the rest of the season, right? But it is 3rd and 3 from the 36. 4:30 to go in the game. Newburn's in the gun. Smith Jr. to the left. Newburn's, he'll take it himself. Newburn's down the sideline, beats Jackson in before being pushed out of bounds.
And there's a flag on the field. We'll see what this one's called on. My money's on the Dons.
It is on the Dons, actually. They're saying, I think, that Jackson just, like, pushed him too high or something, or like.
George, I think he pushed him too hard out of bounds. But you know what they didn't call? They didn't call this penalty right in front of us when he slammed him into the fence.
Yeah,
so
they took Mason Russell and they like tossed him.
I'm not really sure what's going on with the officiating tonight.
But it is actually, it's going to be an automatic first down, regardless. Newburns steps back, pass is complete, they say.
They say it was complete. I'm a little bit suspicious.
I think it was complete because in high school, you really need to get 1 foot in, right? It's not the NFL where you have to get 2. So in high school and college, just 1. Although it looks like they may have just overturned that. So the flag is down, and whoa, on Milford Mill, illegal procedure.
That's a rare one, folks. A penalty on Milford Mill.
1st and 15 for the Millers from their the Dons 23. Low snap. And Jesse Legree hustles down Amari Patterson to the ground, and like we said,
Stopped in his tracks.
Him and Eisen have been in the pockets of the Loyola secondary all game, and they haven't been able to get out, except for the one play they got called back.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right, George. Jesse Legree was on that in the snap of a finger, right?
Absolutely. So about 3 minutes to go left in the game, and the Dons are letting this drive take a long time here. Newburns in the gun, steps back. Here comes the pressure, gets the throw off. Touchdown. They beat Evan Jackson going over his head, and it's a 1-score game instead of a 2-score game. So congratulations, guys. They're hustling out there, I think, to try and get this extra point off. The bad news for Loyola is if they turn it over, a touchdown ultimately wins the game for Milford Mill. So offense is going to need to step it up on this drive.
And not to slander the Dons, but it looked like he slipped or something.
Yeah, Jackson slipped her a little bit. Never mind. Never mind. That is a huge block right there by Harper Rudolph.
And special teams is not really special tonight, as many of the kicks in general have been blocked.
Second blocked extra point tonight, and the second extra point attempt. So that is huge because a touchdown would have tied the game again for Milford Mill. Now they have to convert the extra point again.
There's 4 blocks on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and who's saying the next one won't be blocked, right?
Right.
So the Dons offense just needs to waste time on this play.
Three minutes, 27 seconds left to play. The Dons up by a touchdown.
Both teams have 2 timeouts and expect Milford Mill, to be using some on this drive to try and stop the Dons. As this one will go into the end zone for a touchback, so the Dons will take over at the 20-yard line coming up. And we'll have to see if Brad Cease and the Dons offense can continue this momentum they've had. It's been pretty good. Now, if you are Loyola, you're going to have to hope you made that last extra point instead of it being blocked, because that would mean that Milford Mill would have to get a 2-point conversion to tie the game.
To even tie it, right?
Right, so There's been a lot of blocked kicks on this for both sides tonight. And like you said, special teams has not been special.
It's been special on the defensive side, we should say.
Right, yep, on the defensive side.
The Dons offense trotting onto the field. Here we go.
Cease in the gun. Play action to Russell. Looking long for Corey Adams, and I saw a tug on the shoulder, but we won't talk about it. It was good coverage from the cornerback who we've been talking about a lot tonight, Kobe Sarkodie. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 20, 3:22 to go in the game if you're just joining. The Dons lead the Millers 27-20. Both teams with 2 timeouts. The Dons probably won't be using them. The Millers will probably need them. Cease gonna run again, and this time Milford Mill said, nuh-uh, we're not letting you do it again.
He gets about half the yards they need, though.
That is a good point. It is now 3rd and 7 for the Dons, so.
It wasn't quite half. We'll say it wasn't quite half.
Yeah, but the thing is, they need to convert this 3rd and 6 or 7. I think it's 6. They need to convert this, because if they don't, then they're putting Milford Mill in a really nice position to tie the game or take the lead. Because as time runs out, you're going to have to start thinking about being bold and going for conversions and huge plays. So Dons need this.
Yeah, the question is, will Milford Mill, if the Dons give this ball up?
Cease, pressure comes. Flicks it to Rudolph. Oh, nearly intercepted. That would have been disastrous.
Luckily incomplete for the Dons.
And Milford Mill has taken this 27-14 game, made it a 27-20 game, and they're getting the ball back with 2:30. It is a disaster, a nightmare for the Dons.
So the question is, if Milford Mill drives down the field and scores with no time left, will they kick the extra point, or will they just play to end the game?
How about they just, kick for the extra point so that we don't have to worry about this, But, I don't think a single game I've ever called the Dons have gone into overtime, they've won. So let's just not do that. Shine, fake punt. Oh, wait, never mind. It looked like he was doing a fake punt for a minute, and then he just didn't. They're going to let this one roll. It keeps on rolling. And the Milford Mill guy touched it. He touched it, and Zach Routson picked it up.
He's in the end zone. What's the call?
They're going to give it to Milford Mill here.
And the Dons are not happy about this one.
Zach Routson danced into the end zone. He was like, I had a touchdown. And now he's hustling back with his hands on his head like. So whose ball is it is what I want to know.
I want to know if that is a 5th touchdown that the officials just smited away.
I think they said the Dons touched it and downed it or something, but it is Milford Mill ball. I think that's the right call there.
To me, it looked like the ball rolled in between the Milford Mill guy's feet. He tried to pick it up, and the Dons punched it away as he was touching it.
Yeah, you got to feel for Zach Routson there, but you can't worry about that anymore. You have to get a stop here, as it's 1st and 10.
George, I'm calling it. Jesse Legree interception on this drive.
Don't jinx it, please. As Newburns drops back, looking for his left. Steps up, pressure comes. Newburns stumbles, pick up a 4. And it looked like the ball could have gone on the ground for a second there, the way everyone lunged on the ground
maybe
like that.
The ball might have popped out for a second, but Rousing got on it pretty fast.
So 2nd and 5 from the 44. We're under 2 minutes to go. And after that disaster of a drive for Loyola, they're going to have to hope and pray that defense can come in clutch here. Newburns.
There's that same screen pass we've been seeing.
And Cole Mosier with the tackle, not before a 1st down for Milford Mill. And if they score here and take the lead, the Dons are going to need a miracle.
The Blakefield miracle. I can see it.
Right, but now listen to this. They score. Honestly, it's probably safer for them to go for 2, considering that they haven't even scored an extra point yet. But they have got a conversion, and Legree actually nearly had the interception you were talking about, but instead it's a tackle for loss, and a timeout will be called.
Yeah, it would have been easier for him just to let that ball fall to the ground.
No, sorry, no timeout there. They're just gonna respot it. So 2nd down and 14 from the 48. Huge drive here. A minute to go in the game. Newburns in the gun, rolling out to the left. Newburns gets away from Rudolph. Newburns is taken out of bounds by Cole Mosier.
Under a minute left to play.
And it is 3rd down, and this might be the play that kind of lets us know what the result of the game will probably be. If the Dons can force a big stop here, then, you know, I mean, regardless, Milford Mill's going for whatever, no matter how long the 4th down is, they're going for it. 57 seconds to go. Ball on the 46 of Loyola, 3rd and 9. Newburns in the gun. 1 man behind him. 2 stacked right, 2 left. Newburns drops back. Pressure comes. Rolling out to his left. Newburns is wrapped up and brought down by Mason Gibson. Huge play for the Dons.
Timeout. They took a timeout. It's 4th down.
Timeout called by Milford Mill. This is the game-defining play for them, right? If they don't get this, the Dons win. If they do get this, it's a different story.
If they don't get this, the Dons can kneel it out.
Fourth and 7 from the 46. They need to back it up a little bit, but watch out because Newburns has been scrambling and picking up some big gains.
He scrambled to the same side every time.
So yeah, they probably need to stack the middle a little bit more if you're Loyola here, but this is a must-stop play. If there's any play you need to stop, it's this play right now. 4th and 7 from the 46. 48 seconds to go in the game. The Dons lead the Millers 27-20. Milford Mill trying to keep their undefeated season alive. Loyola trying to get back to 500. Both teams with a lot of the line. Both teams with so much to lose. It's Nelson to the right of Newburns. Owen Newburns in the gun. This is the game-defying moment. Newburns motions Nelson over to the left. He gets up to the line. Empty set now for Owen Newburns. Newburns drops back. Launching deep downfield. Incomplete!
Incomplete!
The Dons win the game!
Not so fast. They still have to kneel it out. But that was game-defining right there.
The Dons have won the game. And Milford Mill, in 42 seconds, are no longer the undefeated Giants they came into this game as. And some nice coverage there, I believe, by Evan Jackson, kind of redeeming himself after that touchdown there. Dons, Milford Mill does have 1 timeout left, so. But I think the Dons are in victory formation. And Cease takes a knee. Milford Mill not taking a timeout. They're gonna let this clock run. So Milford Mill comes into this game 8-0. And they exit this game 8-1.
Huge game for the Dons.
It takes 1 more kneel to seal the fate.
1 more deal down from Brad Cease.
And they do it.
That's the game. That's the game.
Time expires. Our final score, 27 Dons, 20 Millers.
Brad Cease is our LSN player of the game.
And from Reed O'Connor, I'm George Schaefer. We thank you for tuning in for our final football game of the season, signing off on the Loyola Sports Network.